interneted into, we've all entered, right? So this can be defeating if we are shackled in, if you will, and we succumb to the to the kind of comfortably numb, lazy, digital, just, zone out. It's like a type of hypnosis, really, the blue light. Remember when we were kids, if you had a Kmart near you, they had a blue light special, right? It's similar to that, the hypnosis of the blue light. I mean, it's certainly some sort of hypnotism there, right? But it's very polar opposite of what we're naturally innately capable of in our potential, which is superhuman. The super self. That is a connection that we want to activate, that is the invisible self, the aura, as some call it, the energy that surrounds us, that encompasses the simultaneous incarnations, whether you believe that, or reincarnation, whatever you believe. Consciousness is having, or has had, other experiences, and it craves experience. It craves it. And that's deep-seated inside of us. And so the title of this video is Better to Burn Out Than to Fade Away, means this is our activation time. So this is where we need to connect through meditation and reflection and creativity and journaling, writing. I never really loved the term journaling. I always think of them more as diaries, right? However, I suppose it's a good way to put it. But the point is to create what is systemically inside of you, right? In connection, to connect to the outer self, the higher self. So that can only come from meditation, cogitation, deep reflection, creativity, imagination. You have a deep imagination inside of you, capable of building worlds, capable of building unbelievable experiences, existences, art, everything. And the thing is here's the thing, is we are not exposed to the amount of beauty and art in which we crave. We see art from the past, like the Renaissance art. You see the Baroque, the beautiful architecture, Tartarian architecture, right? And and then we look at what surrounds us especially in most, not in New Orleans. I would say New Orleans still has a great deal of history and beautiful buildings and architecture, but it doesn't matter. They're still outside of every city, or inside is the labyrinth of just the same patterns, the same mind-numbing, not inducing our spiritual forces, our creative spiritual forces. They do not induce this. They suppress, if anything, the nemesis. And this is not a point at the bad guy, negative. I refuse to go down that road, but there is a nemesis here. It's just that what's hard to grasp is that actual nemesis is just an aspect of your consciousness, which is stemming from the EYE creating the YOU, and there's no point, and there's not a bigger waste of time. It's equivalent to wasting time on TikTok watching little bodies wail around dancing. I mean, so that's a waste of time. But we have to we search out beauty, and we search out beautiful flowers and art, and the need to stimulate the aspects of ourselves that are hidden, right? Hidden in plain sight. That lies within inside of you. That's inside of you, and right outside of you, floating around, is an electric energy, a sprite, a spirit, which has or is, however you want to look at it, living out other existences, unbeknownst to you, because you're only in this state of experience. And I don't say awareness only because that is what keeps us locked in. Software is the outside, the mind, the consciousness, and inside is the hardware, the brain. And the minute we start the mantra of I am awareness, well, what does that sound like? It sounds like software, hardware, right? So and it'll keep you locked into the system when you do have your opportunities to exit and escape. And that's the last thing we want, right? So, and I don't mean escape in a bad way, because I believe that there's really some part of us existing outside of here that has the true knowledge of all, that is all, and it is an extension of you. And there's the key is what we need here to unlock it. And so those little things in your head, those little lists of creative ventures that you would like to achieve, especially coming this spring as it's a time of rebirth, I would encourage you to uphold this. And I really believe in writing things down, and this goes way back. This goes back and is proven to be effective as far as naming the things you want to do. It can be a sort of to-do list. It can be an actual writing out your plans for the spring and the summer coming up. You know, this is the real zodiacal, which is a dial, zodiacal dial, astrologic logic, new year, in which we're entering at this time, that is spring. It is the birth, it's the baby, it's the newborn, right? It is the ram. This is where the head and the brain come in, and it is the more daylight hours of consciousness, which is the sun, which is just a projection from your own EYE, the sun and the moon. But the sun is the real stimulator there, as far as, and now we know the moon is the left hemisphere, and then the right hemisphere, and I could have that backwards. Sometimes I do get it backwards, like left and right, but so I'm going off my RAM memory at the moment. But what I'm getting at is that the sun, this is the time where the sun rises, okay? Easter, sun rising. And that is a projection of your experience, of the you stemming from the EYE. And this is your time. And I really want to encourage and inspire. I'm going to do some videos coming up which will illustrate some things of a creative nature, and hopefully to encourage you as far as writing, journaling, painting. And the thing is it's whatever it is. There's something inside of you, of all of us. You know, I can't go a long period without. I can't, even if I go days. I'm very in a dark, not feeling well, in a bad state, in a state of just not. I feel this propeller inside of me to create things. This compulsion, right? And we're all different, so we all have something unique and some sort of talent. And the thing is we are bombarded with meaningless, useless tasks on a daily basis. You know, no one can argue that, right? And that's exactly what they are. A lot of them meaningless and useless. What's going to happen if you don't fulfill all those tasks? So what? The point is, the most vital the most vital, and to connect to the higher self and to understand and to really experience and give your outer self the adventure that it craves. It is an adventure for it. We don't understand this, but there's something outside of us that wants this, that has emanated the human form, the human form, to have this experience. But it can't have it, from what I can tell, it can't have it with a duality, without a polarized checkerboard system. So if we get down on this and we don't fulfill those creative tasks, okay, if we get down on this, and we are defeated, okay. And sometimes even the truther channels can go down this road a lot, and I don't watch many of them, but I have. I mean, lately. However, here's the thing, is that they can go down the sort of negative road. The prison thing. I mean, here's my question, is after you listen to that and you watch those things, or you listen to those podcasts, do you feel any better? Are you uplifted, or are you downgraded? You know, is your operating system downgraded or upgraded? The point is to uplift, to elevate, to emanate, create, elevate, right? So we don't want to subjugate. Oh gosh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So let's not subjugate ourselves to the lower dimensional forces too much, especially not in the spring and the rebirth. There is that talent inside of you. Maybe it's just great penmanship, you know? Do you know how cathartic and therapeutic it is to write, just to write and write, just to sit amongst nature and write? You can't find an hour or two of that, or gardening with your hands while listening to some great music? I suggest Led Zeppelin. Music of the past, even though there is no real past or future, we're just in a wheel, but it's the best way to describe it. It's not in this dimension right now. It's not being created right now, Led Zeppelin, but it's still existing. You can still listen to it, or Nirvana, or Alice in Chains, just anything that the Enigma is amazing to take you to an ethereal high, a high where you don't need to be high, where you're just naturally high, and to create what you are destined to create with that outer self that you ignore. Maybe you ignore it, you know, because you've got these meaningless, useless daily tasks that actually have no value whatsoever. Right? I mean, and I understand it, because people want to escape mentally. You know, these poor generations, or gene rations that are coming up now. My God, thank God I didn't have TikTok in the 80s and 90s. Oh, goodness. We are so grateful, those of us. And there are those that are in, you know, there are those that are in their teens and their 20s that are definitely a different type of soul, that are real, true, you know, that have done this a million times, and they are not like the generations. They understand that technology is not, this is not how they want their lives to be, as far as consumed to a phone, or shackled into a phone or a computer. So anyway, I would like to encourage and inspire you. So my point with that was that age is just, it should be levels, not ages, in my opinion, because it's a type of you know, holographic video game system. We should all be at levels, right? And then the closer you get to the end, the higher your level. That makes the most sense to me. Anyway, so it's just that we live in such an inverted, upside down, mirrored, reflected existence, that what's down is up, up is down, and so we reward youth and praise youth, when in reality, remember, everything is opposite, everything is inverted. So the truth is, as people level up, you know, there's a certain amazing wisdom in that, and that's pushed down and stifled and suppressed, and that's okay. This is not negative. That's okay. The point is not victimhood and defeat. You know, the truth is. So it's a time to rise. It's Aries. It's Aries. And I'm going to do a video, hopefully today, on Venus and Taurus. Venus has just entered Taurus. Venus is romance, beauty, finance. You notice how they say the bull market? The bull market, right? That's Taurus. And side note, I've flown a lot of those guys who run those markets, and all I can say is don't envy any of them. Just trust me on that. But it is the bull market for a reason. It is a time where it doesn't mean that things can't go wrong financially or romantically for you in this, you know, in Venus and Taurus. But it should be more in your favor for this period, and as the sun, we get more daylight, and the sun is rising, the sun is happy, the sun is an extension of you, the sun is consciousness, you are a bright star, we are an orb, the sun is a star, and my whole point of this video is better to burn out than to fade away. And when we are defeated, my point is when we are defeated, when we succumb to the shackles, and we don't break out, and we don't hand write pen to paper things that we want, okay? If we don't express these wants and write them out and meditate and create whatever that may be. And also, I will add in conjunction to that, I will add the need for socialization. I do think we need other humans, even if they are NPCs, you know, they're not going to be on the same frequency, right? We resonate on a different frequency. We're not downloadable in the programmable, you know, media sense as far as current events and things like that. A lot of us who search out alternative theories, alternative thought, if you will, free thinking, abstract thought, which requires other elements of the brain that when the NPC is confronted with this type of abstract thought, it just won't connect, it won't hook in. For us, we can't help ourselves. Do you know what I mean? That this is how our brains, we need expansion. We require expansion of the braingasms, abstract thought. And I do think that YouTube and the internet is really good for that. However, when we start getting too much into the prison, well, then you kind of create your own prison, because everything, they are thought forms. They are thought forms, and be careful what you wish and think. That's what that means. Wish for really means thought, toth, right? So when we start going down the negative road of the prison and the soul trap and things like this, it's creating your own prison by your own device, in the words of Hotel California, right? So your thoughts are creating it without even realizing it, on a very subconscious level. So just be careful. You want to be uplifted, especially now as the sun is uplifted. We emulate this, okay? So I know there's a nemesis. I know it's not easy, but hopefully that's how I can help some of you as far as inspiration and encouragement in that way. So better to burn out than to fade away. That means keep going, keep doing it. Don't let the nemesis, don't let the lower dimensional forces, which are just an aspect of the EYE, they're not real. Then don't let them. Seek out beauty, seek out beautiful art, architecture, paintings, right? Nature. So this is our time for this, and I will stop there. I will conclude for now, and I'd love to see your comments. I think you guys are all very unique and brilliant, and it's wonderful to see like minds, truth be told, you know, engaging, and that's the whole purpose of this channel. Okay, signing off. Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening.